So when I was in high school, I was in this welding class, and my friend pulled a little prank on me where he had me have a broom on my back leg, and I think I twisted it or something. Yeah, I twisted my leg like this, and then I tried to launch the broom as far as possible on my back leg, and he said he would do it next, but obviously that didn't work out because I fell completely backwards. Because you need stability to not fall over. And I fell over kicking the. I don't even think I could kick the broom that far. And I just fell on my back. And he just laughed on me. I have a video of it. I'm not putting it on here, but I have a video of it. And then I'm going to talk about who I am, which I'm Kenneth Burson, and I'm going to talk a little bit about myself. And let's see here. I'm going to talk about my family, where I used to live, and what like welding processes I use when I weld. Um, so we're gonna start with my family. So my mom, who helps with my socializing, and um, makes me more emotional. Because I never had a dad, so I don't really know how to be masculine. So I'm not like super butch and stuff like that. I look like it, but I'm not that. I'm 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 not that masculine, but I'm very emotional, and I'm not actually good at that socializing. I'm more introverted. Well, unlike my sister, who we're going on to right now, uh, which is more extroverted, is like makes me happier when I'm around her. She's just very kind, sweet. She talks a lot, but she's very sweet, and she just makes everything more optimistic, just brightens the room up a lot more, and she's just very kind. And we're gonna go on to my next thing, which is where I used to live. I used to live in Farmington, New Mexico, which is a very pretty town. It's a lot of mountains, and there's like the San Juan River, which just has all these beautiful like oak trees that grow around it. But past the river is just desert. So it was really interesting to see all this greenery by the river, and then just maybe like half a mile or a mile is just desert hills, desert mountains. It's really interesting. I loved it there, but we had to move to the next city, which is Midland, Texas, which I did not like. It was the worst city I've ever been to. It was a ghost town with just desert and clay, and it was all oil companies there, which I don't know. I didn't like it there. It was so hot, and when it rained, it was just you could not go anywhere. It was because the clay. It was all clay. The ground was all clay. So when it rained, your tires would get covered in clay, and you couldn't go anywhere. And then I live here in McKinney now. Moved from Midland to McKinney, which I love McKinney. The only thing I don't like about it is all the cars, all the people. There's so many people. I can't drive anywhere with going bumper to bumper traffic, and I hate that. And then for the next thing is welding, which is flux core arc welding, which is very interesting welding process. It uses the self-feeding wire through a gun that has a flux covering on the wire, so when it welds, it has this covering on the weld that protects it from like oxygen, which can create porosity, these little pinholes in the weld, which you can't have, because that would, like if you're trying to put pressure or tension on it, it would break in half. It wouldn't work. And then, what is this called? Shielded metal arc welding, which is just basic welding. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it. It's a stick that you attach a clamp to, and you have your ground on the table or the piece of metal you're working on, and it has a thick flux covering on it. It's basically the same as a self-feeding one, but it's more manageable in like out in the field work. Instead of bringing a whole wheel of wire, it's just a rod that you use instead. And then we have gas metal arc welding, which is the same as the first one but doesn't have the flux on it. It's just self-feeding wire that uses gas instead of a flux to protect. And then we have gas tungsten arc welding, which is the cleanest and nicest looking welding process. It's just super beautiful, and I really enjoy that one. It's because it's so clean. There's no smoke. There is argon gas, but so you got to be careful of that, and you don't want to breathe in all that in. And then you can find all that on lincolntech.edu, and for my mother and sister, you can find that on healthwaymedical.com and tlc.com. And for the places I lived, you can just find that on their government websites. And also, the other thing I love about welding is the respect it comes with the older generation, because they bring down all that knowledge that they've learned from the really difficult time learning how to weld, because you didn't have all this technology yet and all the machines like we do now. They didn't have that. And so, like my mom's always said, is to always be respectful, especially the older generation. They've learned all the hard mistakes and are bringing it to the new generation. So I would like to recap and thank you for listening to my who I am. So thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day.